Hello StarMunchers, Max here, back playing Terra Nil. It's been a long time since I've loaded up this game, and the reason why I'm loading it back up is because a new update just dropped. I believe it's called the Heatwave update or something like that, and there are now new playable levels, and I am extremely happy to hear that, just because I wasn't expecting to get new content for this game. It also looks like they added a photography feature, which is why, even though I had 100% on these, there's like a gold medal thing that you can get now, I guess. Like for the photos that you can get. But we're gonna jump into parched dunes, and these are supposed to be like more arid climates. I'm gonna preemptively apologize for how bad I'm probably going to do at this, because I haven't played since the last time I uploaded an episode of this. Like I said, it's been a long time, and even when I was playing it semi-regularly, I would still forget how to do things properly. Parched Dunes. This oasis, on the edge of the desert, was once a haven for life in the area. Shifting climate and alien vegetation have caused it to dry up. Bring water back to the desiccated land, burn the alien vegetation, and bring life back to this refuge. Okay. Step 1, use aqueducts to bypass the need for riverbeds to get water to where it's needed. The desert sand provides minerals that can be converted to fertile soil. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I see. So there are well springs up here, so we need to burn through this vegetation right here. Aqueduct. Oh, I see. It goes over certain areas? So it's a way for us to transport water. That's nice. Solar array provides electricity. Okay. Sand helix. Pulls in surrounding desert sand, launching it into the air, increasing atmospheric convection. Interesting. And then we have our cone filter and our irrigator. Okay. Where to start with this one? Can we even use the aqueducts just now? Is that even possible for us to do? I know that I need to be keeping track of these. So for this, we need the ground salinity to go down, which I don't know how that works. Does that just mean we get rid of the sand? Here, let's mark that one. Okay. Okay, and then of course we have the cloud seeder, dehumidifier, combustor, flash freezer, and a calcifier. That's right. I did mention that it's been a long time since I played this, so I apologize in advance. Okay, so this is interesting. All this requires is water, and that's it. Nothing else. Which, that's fascinating. Would it be a bad idea for me to put these here? Is that a bad plan or a good plan? I do not know. We are gonna find out, aren't we? Oh, I probably should have gotten rid of this sand first, huh? Ground salinity. I'm gonna assume That's what the sand helixes do, is that they remove that. To be fair, I don't actually know that. Okay, they can revive parched ground, which all that's here. What we really need is a solar array, I think. Because we need to start removing this sand. So let's put a solar array there. And let's try out one of these sand helixes right here. Okay, that did not do what I thought it would do. That's interesting. Ground salinity. Not sure how I fix that. Alright. Well, we have to start somewhere. I think part of it might be that I'm just being too precious with it because of some of the last levels that I played where I would make a mistake that would come back to bite me later on. And so I might just be being a bit of a coward. I'd love to see other games from this developer. They just did a really solid job of creating an enjoyable experience that really does feel, I guess, redemptive in some way. It actually feels like you're doing something good. And not every game is capable of really nailing that feeling, you know? There's definitely something satisfying about it. That cannot be denied. Again, as to whether or not my order of operations that I'm doing right here and now is any type of good, that remains to be seen. I'm thinking this is a good start here. Still not sure what this is caused by. Or, sorry, this. Obviously, I know I'll have to come back through and collect all this stuff later. I guess that's one thing. Oh. Oh, that's like part of the edge of the boundary. Okay. I feel like I've done enough of that for now. So, let's see here. Cone filter cleanses wasteland. I'm not sure. Does this count as something? I don't think it does. Alright, well, let's start with this. I guess we could use more of these. Oh, okay, that's why we need those irrigators, because they actually fix the desert tiles up. Alright, then I need to be doing that first. Definitely. Because then I can actually green this stuff more effectively. As I said, I'll have to come back through and gather all this stuff later. That is okay. I am okay with that. Something that I saw in the trailer for this update that I found interesting was the language that the developer kept using to describe this update was, I'm gonna butcher basically how they said it, but it sounded a lot like this was the game's true form, I guess. I think it was stated in a much simpler way, but this is basically, with this update completed, this is the game in the state that I guess they always hoped that the game would be in. With the added photography feature and with these added levels, I guess. Which I didn't feel that the game was lacking in any way, but on behalf of the developers, I'm happy that the game is finally, I guess, in a state that they envisioned. I think that's really cool. Okay. Now we got the irrigation going. Oh, the ground salinity. Okay, we took care of that one. Alright, what about this? Okay, so we gotta get the temperature down for that one. Because we're below on that. We gotta get the humidity way up for that one. Temperature needs to go up. Humidity needs to go up. What is this? Atmospheric convection. Looks like that's doing okay. Trying to be a little bit more strategic about this. So the temperature needs to go up. Interesting. That's very fascinating. Okay. That's weird. Why isn't all that clearing up? I'm not sure. Swap this over to the straight edge. There we go. Take care of all the stuff up high first. Very nice. Yeah. I really have enjoyed playing games that I can play in the evenings after practically everybody else has gone to sleep. Because it's like, if I'm going to be playing video games anyways, might as well be something relaxing. And this game, as I'm sure if you didn't watch the series when I first played it, you can tell now that this game is exceedingly relaxing. And I love it for that. There is a beauty in the simplicity of its presentation. But there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of strategy to it, and I appreciate that. Alright, I'm thinking maybe this will do that. Okay. Burning the alien vegetation is an effective strategy. Once animals begin to return, increase the biodiversity of the oasis. Elephants will help to maintain the new savanna. Okay. Alright, so we got all these new toys to play with, huh? Okay, temperature. How do we increase the temperature? I mean, for starters... let's burn that away right there. Okay, it worked backwards, which is good, I guess. Not exactly what I was envisioning. Wait. Oh, well, close. Let's burn that. Alright, temperature goes up, but so does the salinity. Well, that'll get rid of some of the clutter anyways. Hopefully that spreads to all the alien vegetation, or at least most of it. There we go. That's what we like to see. There we go. Spread that way, would you? Alright, if I build another one of these, that'll get our temperature up. New animals. Alright, let's get that temperature up. Oh, now that's not what I wanted. Huh. That did quite the reshuffle, didn't it? I was not anticipating that. So now the humidity's too high, huh? Huh. Well, darn. Huh. Well, I wasn't anticipating that. A whole lot happened there I was not expecting. Okay, I need a rock for that. I should have been doing that probably to increase the temperature. Can I make rocks? I thought I could. Recycler. Calcifier, that's the one. Let's do that. So that way I can dehumidify. Oh yeah, first we're gonna need power. Then we can dehumidify. Alright, that's a little chunk. See, this is gonna be the the good old-fashioned long game again, where Max desperately tries to undo his mistakes by potentially making things just a smidge worse. We'll see if I can manage to do this properly. There we go. Gotta get that humidity down just a little bit more. Put some power down right here. Then we take the dehumidifier. All right, there we go. So now we need to raise the temperature. We can use the combustor to do that. Is that going to be a problem, though? Well, we're going to do it. All right. That's all good. Okay. We're good on... That needs to go up. Hold on. Needs to go up. So from this point onwards, pretty much everything just needs to go up. Except for that. This one, the temperature needs to increase. Which, we can do that. I'm going to mark that one, so that way I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, everything else is just a matter of getting things up high enough, I think. That one, the humidity needs to go up. Humidity needs to go up, and the ground salinity, which, if I do a little controlled burn again, that won't be a problem. We'll do that. So we got to clear this out anyways. I think that's going to be the key thing, because we need waterways. So if I can clear all of that stuff out, I think that'll be good. Hopefully it spreads all the way back up. I can just completely get rid of that. Okay, we passed that. And we just cleared off a bunch of stuff off the board, so I guess that's good. Okay. Let me get a lay of the land here. Fig trees on cliffs. Ground salinity. Feel like one of these did something with ground salinity. Increasing atmospheric convection. It's not quite it. How is there 0 ground salinity? How does that make sense? I am not sure. Okay. Well, I guess we could... Lowers atmospheric temperature. Fig trees on cliffs, huh? We could start with a cloud seeder. Okay. That affects a lot of stuff. The fact that we need the salinity in the first place is kind of strange to me, but whatever. Here, we'll close that for now. Trying to figure out how I should proceed. Maybe I focus... I just need to get humidity. I need to get humidity down? Or no? I need to get humidity up for all the remaining ones. Humidity up is good for all these, so... I guess I'll do some cloud seeding, I suppose? Okay, I don't think that affects burned out ground, I don't think. So I'm not going to bother with that. I will place some new electrical stuff so that I can cloud seed. Then get another sedimenter. I told you I was rusty, and that this was going to be a very difficult process. Is that the fastest way to get the humidity up? I guess I did have to dehumidify quite a bit. Let me try something here. Hold on. So that won't work unless we make wetland first. Needs an irrigator. Now let's see if we can do that. Okay, that increases humidity. That's what we need. Okay. Now I have a little bit more direction in terms of what I'm doing, I think. So now it'll just be doing a little of this and a little of that. Put that maybe all the way up there, maybe? Alright, so we're good on that. Again, that salinity thing's gonna bug me, because I don't know how it works. Is that just talking about the sand levels? Have I ruined that? I do not know. Let me think. Alright, so this is another way to increase humidity. And that makes sense. Okay, that's good. Let's rotate that around. I just wish I knew what the heck ground salinity was. Hold on, let's take a look here. We're on parched dunes, right? Well, darn. Do fires increase the salinity? I mean, there's a real quick way we can check. Target invalid, huh? Really? Huh. Huh. Well. Savannah cedar. Has to be built on an irrigator. That's good to go. That's good to go. So we're good on that. Okay. So what we're going to need to do here is go back to this. Put this down just so that way we can convert it to that. Oh, wait. Oh, cacti. I'll bet you that might help with our salinity problem. Xerophythium? Must be built on a toxin scrubber. Okay. Is this a toxin scrubber technically for this level? We're gonna find out. That did not, in fact, do what I thought it was going to do. I was really hoping that it would, but I was wrong. Shocker. Oh well. If I have to replay it off screen, I can't remember if last time I really concerned myself too much with getting all the stuff. With water and plant life restored to the land, fauna will begin to return. Make them comfortable and remove your presence once your task is done. Okay, this stuff I recognize. Humidity needs to go up. Okay, humidity still needs to go up. Let's do one of these, maybe down here. And then let's throw A good old power source down here. And then cloud seed over here. Here. Let's clean that up a little bit. Throw some power here. And throw one of these down. And then cloud seed. So are we just missing that? Okay. Oh, the temperature needs to go up. Interesting. Like I said, off camera, I don't remember if I actually was... I feel like there had to have been levels where I failed that. So maybe I shouldn't worry about it. If I can get the rains to begin, I think that would be ideal. There we go. That's always a good start. Still so mad about that. I don't know how I increase ground salinity. I don't know how that works. I'm assuming my window of opportunity is gone for that. But that's okay. So this is the new feature, which, you know what, we might as well. Let's take some photos. Oh, we need to make the animals happy first? Interesting. Yet again, I've found that these tiny little logs do most of the heavy lifting in terms of making the animals happy. Let's take a look at the animals here. What do they need? Food. Well, that's the problem. Relocate. I forgot you could do that. Okay, water is a problem out there. Makes sense. So, let's get some water out this direction. Okay, so now we need to fix what we just did. So... Wait a minute. Why can't I relocate you to your own habitat? Shouldn't that be where y'all are hanging out? There we go. That's a little bit better. Bluebell is still very unhappy, which is why we're going to move them down here. And then we're going to make this savanna. That'll hopefully make them a little bit more happy. I guess I could just keep adding wildlife bridges. Trying to think what else I should add. Space is a problem, and food is a problem. I could turn this into savanna, I guess. Oh, that did nothing. Why didn't that do anything? Let's see, what else can I do? I'm just gonna get rid of that. It's over there mocking me for not being able to do it. Okay, you guys need more water. But the elephants wanted more space. That is very tricky. Oh, wait a minute. No, you guys worked it out. Slowly but surely, you guys are eking up. No buildings. Ah, that would make you happier, wouldn't it? That checks out. My apologies. Let me just take care of that for you. Silly me. That should make these critters a little bit more happy, which is totally reasonable. Right, that'll probably make some headway. Okay, let me think this through. Right. Loading dock. Recycling drone. Where can we even find space for you? Right there. Put you down in the water. How am I going to recycle some of this stuff? I do not know, but I'm going to find out. Gonna have to make more waterways, probably. Which is gonna require more power. Which is not my favorite thing in the world, because these poor elephants are not gonna be very pleased with me. But it's worth a shot. There we go. Now let's see what I have access to over here. Here we go. Do that. Grab all of you. Those elephants will be happier once we clear all this out of their habitat. Hold on a second. Right. We need to make that and that, so that way you can get all the way up here. There. I keep forgetting that I should be using these little silo things first. Just to consolidate everything together. So that way the stuff can actually be picked up properly. Like that. Uh-oh. Hold on. Poor little guy's stuck. There we go. Alright, this little guy is going to be busy for a bit. Got a lot of stuff for him to clean up. Didn't necessarily want to clean up the place with the photos, because I was going to take more pictures once more of the animals were happy, because that seems to be what you're supposed to do, I think. At least so it would seem. Yep, more and more animals are getting happy. That's good. Alright, am I missing something? Obviously there's you. Here, I'm gonna put this back down. Here, let's take a photo of you. 'Cause you guys actually seem happy. I need to pick a different animal, huh? You're happy? Wherever you are, right there. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. My bad. Okay, you're happy, so we'll get a photograph of you. Not a great photo. But that is a fun feature. I can understand why they wanted to add it in. Okay. They all seem happy. I need one more. Preferably, how do I get the zebras to be happy? Because they seem not stoked at the moment. What do you need? Water. Well, first of all, I might have you guys move down to where the water is. You might be a little bit more happy. There we go. That's the ticket. Boom. And there, we got our 10. Perfect. So then, we just gotta collect that right there. And we should be good to go. Yep, let's go. What a fun level. Like, I'm sure from a gameplay perspective, there are limitations to what all you can do with this sort of a game, like how much extra stuff you can add. But I think it's cool that they decided to add, you know, some levels to the game, because it wasn't necessary for them to do. But as somebody who legitimately enjoys playing this, I am glad that they did. And hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. I think I'm going to call this episode here. This went way longer than I thought it was going to. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.